Just a minute, I'll put the power cord, Mahesh.
Sure. Sir, both of them, course, Padmini and
Sure. No problem.
Yes.
Okay, Padmini, let's go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, Sumit is raising his hand.
Yeah, go ahead. Unmute him.
Hello, Sumit.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, Sumit, can hear you.
So in final exam, interim exam, what kind of question pattern will it be like a qualifier during our first qualifier type?
Yes, almost the same type that you have been observing for a qualifier or the 3 quizzes that you have had. We'll follow similar pattern. We are struggling with we want to test little bit of writing, but because of the TCS platform, we are unable to bring that in. But we are trying to design questions in such a way that we will try to have some component that components that go in writing as well. But the types of the question will almost always be the same. And I would like you to know that for all the tests, all quizzes or exams, there will be one component on listening as well. So please do bring your earphone or whatever that works for that. There was one confusion at one point, and we want to, in order to remove that, we want to put listening component in every test.
Actually, sir, it is in qualifier 2 where we didn't allow to take our this thing earphone.
I know. I was told that there was some issue with that. Different agencies are doing these things. That TCS was operating our exam, and hence that was the confusion. We will not have such confusion any hereafter, and we are taking care of those difficulties.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Oh, sure, sir. Okay. Anybody else? Anything?
Sir.
Yes.
No,
hello,
sir. Nivedita Sharma had asked.
Yeah, Asim Biswas is also trying to say something.
Yeah, actually, sir, to choose 3 type, they didn't allow us to carry our money bags.
Right. That won't happen. That won't happen now. It has been taken care of, and we are going to bring in. You see, maybe there was some issue from our side also, but the TCS as our exam partner had little difficulty or misunderstanding about that. We'll take care of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was only happened with the Muslim center, not in Salt Lake Center.
Sorry, say it again.
Yeah, I mean, for quiz 3, I had a different center.
Okay.
That is in the North Calcutta.
Okay.
So they didn't allow, but when
right, there are some problems with these center people and the TCS. We have straightened that out. They will allow everyone to bring to take a earphone. And taking earphone is no big deal. I mean, well, that is not important for us to discuss. So there was a situation which became difficult, but now that will not happen.
Okay.
Okay. Divyendu Laha is asking Pradmini in the chat forum, any
Yes, sir.
should we prepare for end term exam? Divyendu, it's I just discussed patterns are the same. I would it's a small group. I know there is a huge enrollment, and this is a small group of people here. So I can tell you, I don't want to make these things sound like we are preaching, but I would like everybody to focus on the and if you feel these things are helping the content part, understanding the content, doing the things that we are suggesting, more than worrying about the exam per se. I understand exams are important and they take you to the next step, but my personal advice is to focus on the content part and see if they are useful to you or not. And if you can also let us know about some of the things, like some feedback on the content part, that will help us as well. So I'll look forward to that from you. I don't have anything special particularly to say about end term exam. That's all, I guess. Anybody else?
No, sir.
Okay, that's okay. So do we have some questions from the forum that we can discuss, Padmini, while these people
Yes, sir. Sure. Sure.
talk to us?
Sure, sir. Sir, in one of the practice assignments, we had a question.
Mhm.
Radha and Krishna have been married dash 10 years. And the options were since, for, and until. And the correct option that we gave was for.
Okay.
So a learner is asking, I wanted to ask, why can't since be an answer to this question?
For this kind of time, there for have been it's about point of time and period of time. So for period of time we use for, and point of time we use since. It's a very so if it's about year, uh, they are married since like, let's say we are talking about 10 years, so since 2011. If you give a specific point in time, then it is since, and if you are giving a period of time like for 10 years or 5 years or 2 years, then we use for. This is a very specific rule of English language. There is nothing specific about that. So that's the basically answer. So also take a note and you can post it for them that
Sure.
since is used for pointing. This information is available everywhere. Since is used for pointing time, and for is used for period of time in such sentences. Therefore, for as an answer is important for that. I see something posted in the chat forum. Vedita Sharma is in B12. There was a writing. There was a writing sample. I'm very much confused in clauses. Yogendra, what is confusion? Can you specify, Yogendra, please? Let me read the other one effectively. A childish argument justifying the government's new farm law. Is there some instruction from the central government to include such? No. Nivedita Sharma, there is no instruction from any government for us to use anything. It's not. If there was a question, we would have picked it up from a contemporary thing. But whatever question we ask you as part of language has nothing to do with the content, and if it sounds like a propaganda, we have no intention uh, uh, to pursue anybody's argument. I hope that makes clear. I'm glad you asked. If at all you had anything in your mind, but there is absolutely nothing as such. Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Just a moment, please. I hope that was your question, and without taking it too far, I hope I have clarified. Unless it meant anything else, I have clarified it. If you mean anything else and you want to know anything else about that, please let me know. I'll be happy to explain that. Yes, who was speaking? You can take Yogendra about adverbial clauses and adjectival clauses. I'm coming back. Coming back again, I am not able to judge which clause is there in a sentence. Okay, I'm coming back to that. But somebody wanted to speak in the meantime. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. I am finding some problem while try to answer by reading a comprehension. Say one paragraph I am first I read and then try to answer from that paragraph. In that, I try to read the paragraph in blocks. That means not going every line of the paragraph, but few lines in the paragraph and try to guess what is that particular block try to say. And in this way, my reading is faster, but I'm not able to answer 100% while I'm answering from that paragraph. Can you suggest some good way where I can read the thing in a faster way and I also have an accuracy while answering?
I think it's an issue of configuration. Padmini, please take a note of that. We will
Sure, sir.
let the configuration team know so that everything is visible. And Samit, we make these questions in the last minute, and until then we don't know where we are going to get these passages from. So you can't really tell you anything about
Uh,
such.
Sir, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
Was
go
he
ahead.
talking about some technical issue? I thought he was saying he wants some strategies to better comprehend reading passages. Did I understand it wrong?
Samit?
No, correct. And it is not a technical issue. It is the issue to me that I am not able to answer 100%. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sir,
go
he is
ahead.
unable to comprehend reading comprehension.
He wasn't talking about technical issues, sir.
Oh, okay. So there was a difficulty in understanding that comprehension question. Well,
Yes.
all we can say about that is you can read more. Broadly speaking, that will help process the short passages that we use in a short period of time.
Can I add something, sir?
Yeah, sure.
Um, uh, who is this?
Samit.
Samir. Okay.
Samit.
Okay. So there's one video which is dedicated to reading comprehension and all that. So I would say in that we are very specifically talking about the technique that can be used while reading, particularly comprehension passages. Why don't you get to that video, because that's a thoroughly explained video.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Should we expect the essay type questions to be also there? Like
Aditya,
Yeah,
yeah, please go ahead.
essay type questions to be also there, like which Sir Sudhir Chaudhary told us. Like there were many activity questions of essay type. Like there was a topic and we had to write within 150 words. Okay, so like these type of question, can we expect that like for the qualify, for the end term also, like because 2-3 questions were there, like.
Can I answer this, sir?
Sure, please go ahead. Please.
No, not for this time, but that doesn't mean that you should not be practicing those, because for the advanced course, you will have essay questions and they will be evaluated. So make sure that you start from the scratch. Make sure that you make proper notes of that. If time permits, write an essay on a weekly basis and try to get it corrected from us. Or you could, we could also do, if a large number of essays are turning up, we could also get the assistance of each other, or and evaluate your essays and tell where you could improve. So I hope I answered your query. Not for the exam, this final exam, but you will definitely have it for your advanced English.
Okay. All right. So, okay. When I was trying to follow things from the chat box. Sorry, Nivedita, I don't quite get this thing, but as long as I am clear about what I said is fine, and we don't. So I think there was a sentence you were saying. I'm still looking at your post. You were saying there was a sentence as a result, agriculture no longer attracts anyone with brains. And sir mentioned not to use such cliche. These are emotive issues, and people look at these.
That's not by Nivedita, sir. The next one is.
What? Say it again.
That message is not from Nivedita. That's
Not from Nivedita. Who is that? Oh, that is from you. Okay.
right.
Oh, okay. So, so the point that was being made in that video was not to use such cliche. She asked something, and I don't need to defend anything. All I am trying to clarify to you is we have no business to do anything with these things. We only, you have been watching these things, these videos, and our discussions. We are struggling with how to read and what agrees with what. In terms of sentence agreement, we are not trying to do anything else otherwise. And if there are some contemporary essays taken, we don't hesitate from taking anything from contemporary things as well. We don't, as far as academic content is concerned, we are not we don't have any pressure, or we are not answerable to anybody on these things. Okay. Anyway, so that just wanted to clarify that. All right, let's move ahead. So, anything else in that point? The one that you posted. Anything else?
No, sir. It's just a contradiction that we should not use cliches, and sir himself in the
Right.
final draft, right? It was just a minor thing.
I am positive. I mean, we are not in the same place. If and this was not, this entire program is not supposed to have everybody in the same place. If we had a chance to see things in person, you would have figured these things out by yourself. I am not the spokesperson of the institute, but
No, nothing about institute. Nothing about institute, sir. It's just a minor thing.
No, I get it. All I am trying
nothing
to
about
say
that.
is
It's not worthy of a discussion.
No, it's not. Definitely not. All I'm saying is we don't have anything to do with that. And in the course, whoever has recorded, they won't say anything. We don't censor these videos either. Okay, so let's go to other things. Okay, sure, Nivedita, no problem. All right.
Sir,
Yes, Padmini.
Sir, Yogendra is telling that he is mainly
Adverbial.
confused in adverbial and adjectival.
You see, we have Yogendra. We are still in the editing process. We have created some videos on those things. Will be uploading. Not sure if for English one or maybe for some other run we will have to redesign English one. We may have to insert few more videos on these things, but they are coming up for English too, for sure. For the time being, I can tell you there is it's not cliche, but to struggle with some of these things is not really bad thing, in the sense that struggle means you are trying to figure things out for yourself, and to help in that, what I will say is there is a very strong correlation, a strong thing that can help you separate adverbial clauses and adjectival clauses. Adjectival clauses, whether one adjective or entire adjectival clause, they modify nouns. And here by modification, I mean saying something more about the noun, describing the noun. Adverbial clauses will have something to do with the verb within the predicate. This is one distinction between adverbial clause and adjectival clause. Sometimes, and I have tried to clarify it in the video, and I don't mean to say too much because it is not yet uploaded, but I can tell you, you see, sometimes what we do is we do have some clauses which modify other nouns as well. Like we can say, I'll give you an example. In one of the videos in the first 4 weeks, I had tried to work on this in clauses while introducing the clauses. I'll give you a very generic example. When we say a phrase like a student of English from New Delhi, a student of English from New Delhi. So, of English is the complement of the noun a student. From New Delhi is adjunct clause and therefore adverbial in nature, which is just giving some additional information about the noun. So in terms of giving additional information, we take it as an adjunct clause, and I don't want to take this whole thing too far, which might confuse you again. So it just adds some more information about that, and it is not really required. However, complement clause like a student of English is a required clause there. So from Delhi is kind of adverbial in nature. Number one. Number two, how do we know whether it is a complement or adjunct? The test is very simple, that we cannot change the position of the two prepositional phrases. Students of English from New Delhi, we cannot say students from New Delhi of English. That's how we identify them. In any case, we are working on it to simplify this for you for the time being. And you can check, and please work on it more. There is nothing wrong in working on it more. Adverbial clauses will modify verbs. We'll have to say something more about the verb, though they are not required by the verb most of the times, except in the verb like go. You know, go is a verb, it's an intransitive verb which won't need an object, but it will need an adverb obligatorily, particularly location adverb. So we can't simply say I go. We have to clarify the location of going. I have to say I go to some place. Without that, the sentence is not complete. But most of the time, adverbial clauses are optional in a sentence, and it has to do with a verb. Adjectival clauses have to do with nouns, and they are they don't modify anything other than nouns. That is what I can say for the time being about. Hope this will reduce some of your confusions. If not, please work on it. Let us know. We'll have more discussions on that. I think I gave a long description of what I was saying. But is it clear? The things that I was trying to say, is that clear to you, or did I confuse it further, Yogendra? Okay, all right. Okay, anything else, guys?
Hello, sir. Can I ask a question?
Of course you can.
Sir, how do you suggest we master stress? Like, are there any hacks for that? In one of the lectures, there is a trick to find out where which syllable is voiced and voiceless by placing your palm in front of the mouth and where it's voiceless and voiced. And for aspiration, also there's a trick. So, is there a trick to find whether which syllable is stressed and not stressed? Because I'm struggling with stress, sir, and
That's not a problem. See, no. I mean, struggling with a stress is not a problem in the sense that stress in a. You see, what does a stress mean? I still need to ask you something about what you said because it was not clear to me. I'll come back to that in a minute. But before that, I must tell you. See, stress. What does this stress mean? Stress means prominence. If we have more than one syllable, that is at least two syllables. The question of prominence, that is one being prominent over the other, logically arises only when you have at least two, minimum of a two. So the question of a stress becomes critical when you have at least two syllables.
correct.
Also, you know that, and it should be intuitive by now to everybody, that you have two syllables word, a lot of them, 3 syllable words, 4 syllable words, and after 4 syllables, the higher the number of syllables of a word, the lower the possibility of a word. Okay, we don't have too many words with 5, 6, 7, 8 syllables. That is simply because it will be difficult to either make a word or have an original word with 7, 8 syllables. So that's a basic information. Now, what do we do with this basic information? All we need to know is syllabification. Beginning from syllabification itself is intuitive to native speakers. Like I have given you examples several times. Why some words like kitab, chappal, dahi, tauliya, how do we decide the gender for these words? All the speakers of Hindi, I'm speaking about Hindi, will largely agree to the same point. And that is, I'm only giving you an example of what we mean by intuitive. So syllabification is intuitive to native speakers. Now, what does it mean? Can we not learn that? That's not true. We can learn, but it will take time. It takes long time of paying attention to the syllabification and the constitution of syllables to get there. So, and particularly we need to focus on 2 or 3 syllable words because it is easier to identify which one is becoming more stressed and which one is becoming more prominent among the 2 or 3. Now you were asking trick. There is no trick about it. There are some patterns that people have observed, and we have tried to give you few patterns. I don't remember all of them from top of my head right now, but just 2-3 patterns if you remember. Then it will become clearer. Please go to that video, 2-3 patterns, and for what becomes crucial here is practice. And what you can do is take a list of either you pay attention to large number of words slowly, or do this exercise for yourself. Take a list of 20 words from any reading that you are doing, and now there are a lot of resources available online where you go and check the syllabification and stress patterns. Both the website will give you, and then if you observe which one is being stressed and which one not, we can get there. Why I am saying it so confidently? Because you see, the total number of words there was a research, I don't know the authentic source to quote this. We don't use more than 200 words per day. Okay, no, irrespective of how much you speak. I can record myself when I'm talking to you for 2 hours. The total, we are not talking about the frequency of words, but the total number of words whole day I speak will not be more than 200 and 250 plus. So if we
Okay.
do work on those things, we will get there. It's not a big problem. Okay. So
Okay. No, sir. What I
so the
was
last
referring
point,
to was.
this
Okay.
point,
Okay. Yes, sir.
last point, we can reach as an adult learners, we can reach whether we become a native speaker or not is not the issue, but we can reach very close to native competence. That's all I can suggest. Okay.
Right. No, sir, in the lectures, there are these tricks that the lecturer has mentioned to find out which one is a voiced and voiceless sound by
Okay.
placing a palm in front of your mouth and seeing
Right.
and for aspiration, you need to place the palm below your jaws and finding out whether it's aspirated
for
or not.
aspiration. No, not for aspiration. Below your
Okay, okay.
jaw, when you put your palm like this, you can see voicing. You can see
Oh,
voicing.
right.
Huh?
Okay, correct.
And what does it mean? You see, it's just a realization. Voicing is something for which we need machine. So if you speak isolated sounds like or you can feel some resonance in glottis.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
and it will become clearer. But when those sounds are used in a word, identifying those resonance will be very tough, because we don't, when we speak these sounds in a word, we don't say "ba," right?
Yes,
We don't
yes.
have that much time. We use them so fast but this trick is given to you just to identify that some of these sounds are voice sounds. Some of them are aspirated. So for aspiration, what I have done, I think I have done that video.
Yes, yes. Yes. I
Because
think
hardly, I can't speak for everybody, but very rarely people would want to do such things on camera. You see, put your hands in front of your mouth. Not in general speech. Try to speak sounds like kha or cha. You will see some additional amount of aspiration compared to the previous one, ka.
yes,
That
yes.
is just an example of how aspirated sounds sound and how
Yes.
we identify them. But again, when we use them in a word, it's not that you can keep your palm in front of your mouth and you may not realize it.
Correct.
In that sense, you have to take it in that sense. Okay.
So I was just wondering that is there a connection between voice, aspiration, and stress? So like, can we figure out, in a word which one is a stress syllable or not? That was my actual.
Not actually. Not That's not the trick. See, all vowel sounds are voiced. All vowel sounds are voiced.
Okay.
And you must have one vowel in every syllable. Okay. And stress, when it comes in a syllable, it comes on the vowel. So
Okay.
the least one can say is maybe you locate stress on vowels. But these things are too detailed descriptions of the phenomena and won't help you much.
Okay,
Kartika,
sir.
you wanted to say something? Kartika, you wanted to say something?
Sir, I wanted to add something. He was asking whether there's any strategy, right? I think from an exam point of view, what one could do is to learn stress. There are few rules like, two-syllabled nouns have their stress on this syllable, and two-syllable disyllabic verbs have stress on this. So get the 10 to 20 rules, by heart or mugged up. But that's again only for the exam point of view. At a spoken level, if you want to improve your language and you want to like really stress on it, then I would say improve your listening skills, meaning expose yourself to a lot of English. I mean, in the accent that you want to speak, or improve your language. So that's the only,
Okay, okay. Noted, noted.
yeah.
Okay. I saw something there in the chat box as well. There is a question about wait. 4 years is a long time. You see despite of the word years, the reason why is agreement is this is how time works. 4 years is taken as unit. And there is a video coming up thanks to Puneet. He has sent some resources. Puneet, I have had a look at all those websites, and I am still I must say there were a couple of things which I didn't know myself. I'm looking at them, and but this much I know: 4 years is a long time. The reason why it is singular is because irrespective of the plural markers, it is taken as one unit. And I'm coming up with that video that there are certain I just don't want to tell you some cliche stuff. By cliche I mean some general stuff that is available everywhere. I am working on something. I like to work on underlying patterns, and if I have something to say, I'll tell you about that. You see, identifying subject is the most crucial part of understanding agreement. Once we have identified the subject of the sentence, the subject in the sentence, and then the next step is to identify whether that subject is singular or plural. Rest of it follows automatically. And in that automatic process also, verbs are, traditionally speaking, we have been used to the following, that when singular subjects, singular verb, plural subjects, plural verb. Verbs are never plural or singular. Verbs gain that plurality or singularity from the subject and hosts the same feature on themselves also. That is what actually, this is how actually in our mental computation agreement works. So I'm thinking about these things. I'm trying to put something together to put in a video, and I'll bring it up. But the important point is, so in the connection of this 4 years, you see, we are trying to understand. We're not looking at the literal picturesque description of here is years, therefore it should be plural. We need to understand 4 years is a unit. 4 years or 50 years, or 4 minutes or 50 minutes. It's a unit of time, and that is taken as singular. That's the cognitive exercise we need to do. I think enough. I spoke enough about this. Similar time being taken as unit. Yes, 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 Raja. Thank you, and Damodaran, thanks for explaining that as well. It's nice. But Vinny, you were saying something in the chat box. We are moved from
No,
it.
sir. They were telling there was some notification in the calendar for some
Oh,
unknown event. So I've removed it. Yes.
okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 10 liters or yeah. Good. Thanks, Damodaran, for explaining those things. Okay. Anything else, guys?
Sir, Sahil was raising his hand.
Yeah, please. Unmute.
Sahil?
Yeah, hello. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, Sahil, you are.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, I have a couple of doubts regarding the prepositions in grammar.
Okay.
So the first doubt is like when do you? I have a one sentence in practice assignment.
Sure.
My friend lives dash Dhandeswaram Road.
Okay.
So why it is on, not at? My friends lives on Dhandeswaram Road. That is the correct, but not at Dhandeswaram Road.
Not at Dhandeswaram Road. Yeah. Okay.
But as I have understand the preposition about at or in, suppose when we suppose I live in Delhi. So when we say as a one place in Delhi, So I will use I live in Delhi. But when we say as a cluster of India, I live at Delhi in India, right? So that is, I understand how to use in or at, but here only Dhandeswaram road is there, but the new concept on Dhandeswaram road. My friend lives on Dhandeswaram road, so I'm just a bit confused about this.
Okay. How do I start? Kartika, you want to say something?
Sir, the question was not very clear to me.
No,
Maybe
I
because of
can-
network issues. Could you please repeat that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
can
will.
repeat it for you.
I will do
Yeah,
it. Padmini,
yeah, please.
Padmini, wait. The question is, yeah, now Sahil is putting it in the chat box. My friend lives on Dandeswaram Road. He is asking why not at Dandeswaram. But before
When
that,
you're not specific,
okay, but just a minute, Kartika, just a minute. Sahil,
Yes.
you gave an example of multiple nouns, like my friend lives in Delhi, at Delhi in India. I don't
Yes.
think we can say at Delhi in India also. Okay, right?
yes. You would say I am at the hotel, and or when do you say I am at the hotel? Is when you're close to the hotel. And when do you say I am in the hotel? When you're actually inside the hotel, you say I'm in the hotel. So this is the primary difference between in and at, the use of in and at when it comes to locations. Okay. And in this case, my friend lives in Dandisharam Road, and why not at is what you're saying, right?
So the
Right.
answer is on. Kartika, the answer is on Dandeswaram.
Sorry. My friend lives on Dandisharam Road and not at, right?
Right.
Because there you're not uh, being specific. Like for instance, my friend lives um, uh,
See, we can say, Kartika,
at,
I'll
yeah,
give you an example. I'll give you an example.
yeah.
See, if we say, and you are right, when you are saying being specific and non-specific, that is true. See, Sahil, if I say I live at IIT Madras campus, that is fine.
Yes. Yes.
Because
That
I am
is
being specific. I cannot say I live on IIT Madras. Can I say I live on IIT Madras?
yes.
On IIT Madras campus, we can say. But
Yes.
if there is a stretch and there is no specific location on that stretch, which is the road, in that case you will say I live on Dandeswaram Road. This is a usual pattern. You will never have a grammatical sequence like I live at some stretch. Okay. But Kartika is right when she's telling you that if you make the place specific, then it is going to be
So
at.
let's say if you're using the house name, I live at Nandanam House
Yes.
on Dandisharam Road.
Right. Then it will become that way. And
So
I have just verified that yes, the rule wise you are right that smaller place takes at and larger place takes in. Like we can, technically speaking, it should be fine at Delhi in India, but conventionally speaking, I don't. There is some sense of unacceptability there with me. So I would suggest you to check that. There are some rules about that. Have we done prepositions, Kartika, by now? Have we talked about
Yes,
it?
sir. But not too detailed in the way we would
No.
deal with
We are bringing that up also.
advanced.
We
Yeah.
are bringing that up also. But nonetheless, if the question is important, I hope you get the answer.
yes, I've got the answer, but the thing is like when we have to use on when it is something like stress, such like but Dhandeswaram road is, we can't say inside or at, right?
Correct.
So
It's
some
because
part.
it's conceptual thing. You see, Sahil, same thing that I was talking about subject. We need to look at we need to understand the notion of preposition conceptually. We can say in the house, we can say
Yes.
in the room, we cannot say in the road,
Yes.
right? In the closed circuit, the closed location will take in. All right. Again, you can say on. We can say on the table, but we can also say on the street. But we don't say at the. We use the at when we have a specificity involved in the location. So let's leave it there for the time being, and then we can take that. Please wait for some more on prepositions.
And one more doubt in
Sure.
practice.
Go ahead.
My grandfather deals with guns. My grandfather deals in guns. So why deals in guns is correct, not deals with guns is correct.
That's a phrasal verb, right?
So in we say okay.
Karthika?
Excuse me, Professor.
Yes, please.
Is it okay if I provide an example similar to
Oh,
this?
of course it is okay. Please go ahead.
Yeah. If you take the sentence, he deals with children on a daily basis, that would be deals with. We cannot use deals in because that would have a very different meaning. So there are very specific applications of those phrasal verbs.
Sure, definitely.
I just add on to this
Okay.
in general sense. Basically, if you look, deals comes with either with or in.
Right.
But when we generally we use deals in when the sentence have a business sense. Suppose the example that you are given, it is he deals with the gun means he is doing something business of the gun, that is it is deals in. But if the sentence have an inner sense when he is talking about some behavioral issue, then it is comes with deals with.
Okay.
You can take it in that way also.
Above all, you are right. Both of you are right. Above all, what we also need to know, Sahil, about that, deal in and deal with, these are phrasal verbs. In there is not really give up. It's like sit down. Okay, give up, pick up. It's these kind of verbs. So phrasal verb means a verb that has a preposition-like element as a particle with them. Their English is a special. English has a special. English has a lot of phrasal verbs. So deal in and deal with are phrasal verbs. It's not really the preposition in or with. Second part is, and the explanation that both they are giving you, this is fine, this is right, that when we are talking about things in terms of business of anything, not just guns, books or guns, or sounds bizarre to put them together, but we use in at that, and when we are dealing with something as an object, then we use with. So deal in and deal with are two different types of phrasal verbs.
So gun is an object only, no?
Right. But it's the object of the verb in the sentence. But what we are saying is, it gives the sense of business that they were trying to tell you. So whenever we are talking about business dealing, it will take deal in. And in other cases, it will take deal with.
And any examples with deal with?
Yeah, we can say I deal with a lot of problems.
I deal with a lot of problems.
Dealing with problems is not my business. Right?
Okay.
In that case, it is with. But when I say I am dealing in books, I am dealing in computers, then or anything, dealing in building materials, dealing in cosmetic stuffs. So these are, every time we have a sense of business, we use dealing.
Okay. So
Okay.
no, okay. I thought like that. So my grandfather deals with gun or deals in guns. So I was thinking like in a movie scene, just like everyone put is the gun and now the business is going on. Like oh, like what you say in Hindi.
Right.
मतलब कि प्रेशर में डाल के आपको मतलब कि बिजनेस डील करा रहे हैं मतलब
नहीं नहीं
कि
नहीं, वैसा नहीं है,
बंदूक
वैसा
मार
नहीं
के
है,
okay.
वैसा नहीं है ये एग्जाम्पल। ये मतलब किडनैपिंग वाला प्रॉब्लम नहीं है इसमें।
Yeah, I got it. I got it. Means they are dealing with guns. Means ये गन के धंधा कर रहे हैं मतलब इस टाइप से
हाँ, धंधा कर रहे हैं, डीलिंग इनका कहते हैं, गन का बिजनेस कर रहे हैं, सही बात।
गन का बिजनेस कर रहे हैं।
हाँ, और जब अब हम अगर कोई बोलता है आई एम डीलिंग विथ गन्स, उसका मतलब होता है गन रिलेटेड इश्यूज से डील कर रहे हैं।
ओके, गन रिलेटेड इश्यूज से
डील कर रहे हैं। हाँ,
okay.
जैसे एक पुलिस इंस्पेक्टर बोल सकता है आई एम डीलिंग विथ गन्स इन माय लोकेलिटी, meaning there are a lot of people with guns and I have to deal with these issues. That when he says, he doesn't mean he is doing the business of guns.
He is dealing with a problem or issue with the guns.
Is that clear to you now?
Yeah. When the issue is created or problem is created, then we use as a with.
Sure. Ayush had his hands up, and then we go to other people. So Ayush,
Sir, I have a doubt from quiz 3.
Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. So there was a question that a chief as well as his brothers. So it was a fill in the blank. So answer is belongs.
Right, singular.
Belongs to the same tribe, right?
Correct.
And the similar question was there, a children as well as their uncle. And again there was a fill in the blanks. So there are in the fill in the blanks.
Correct.
Yeah. So I think the both is contradicting each other.
No, they are not contradicting each other, Ayush. Still, in one case the subject is the chief, in the other case the subject is children. Chief is singular, therefore belongs, and children is plural, therefore plural.
Okay. Yeah. Children is plural.
Yes. They are
Sorry,
not
sir.
no problem.
Thank you.
That's it. Kartika, I think you wanted to say something about something?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay.
As well as, na, like what you told, as
Yes,
well as, and but also like it will be like just qualifying something to the subject. So subject
Correct.
will be, yes, subject is singular or plural. According to that only it will be.
Correct.
Am I correct?
Yes, you are absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. So basically we are going a step further, where we are saying now that we need to identify the subject, and then the agreement will follow from there. That understanding, you will get the agreement. So the moment you decide what is the subject and what is is it singular or plural, then understanding agreement is it just follows from that. Okay. Was there, Padmini, was there any other hands up or any other person I did not notice?
Yes, sir. So there is a question in the chat box by
Okay.
Raja.
Okay.
He's asking, my homework was being done.
Okay,
My homework was done. What is the difference between the two passive sentences?
What is the difference between these two passive sentences?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so was done is simple past, simple passive past, and was being done is continuous. That's the difference between the two. It's a difference of aspect. Okay, Raja? Most of the button. Okay. Next.
Yes, sir.
Any other question in the chat forum, Padmini?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, sir. So there is a question. Most of the buttermilk dash gone bad. 6 gallons of buttermilk dash still in the refrigerator. Here, gallons is a unit of measurement. Shouldn't it be treated as a singular?
No, because see, it's becoming countable, 6 gallons. So it's not just it doesn't remain just the so like this is precisely what I was saying, that we need to understand the notion of the concept of the notion of subject. Most of the buttermilk, look at it, whether it is half of it or everything, most of the buttermilk has gone bad. So it will take singular agreement marking. And 6 gallons of buttermilk are still in the refrigerator, because 6 gallons, true gallons is gallon, or gallons is the unit of measurement. But when we say 6 gallons, it becomes plural. Singular chance, yes.
So can I just summarize that?
Please.
Yeah, so most is a countable noun here. So you can't count buttermilk. So in the first sentence, therefore the verb is singular. Whereas in the second sentence, if you see, you can count the gallons of milk. So the subject in the second sentence is what? Plural. It's gallons.
Okay. Next. Yeah. Somebody wanted to speak?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
good afternoon, Professor.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
name
go
is Pritodip Dev. I do not have a question with the content exactly, but I have a suggestion to make. Is this the right place to speak, or should I write it in the discussion forum?
About what? About content?
Yeah, actually, I wanted to suggest that like before the qualifiers, this was done in the maths course as well. They created a PDF file which contained a list of all the corrections in the graded assignments that have been made. So they named it errata, and they made a list of all the corrections. So if something similar could be done for English, it would be very helpful while revision.
Do we have a lot of corrections? Do we have a lot of corrections?
I'm not sure, Professor. I just wanted to suggest.
Sure. We will look at that. We will take it.
Yeah.
If we have a lot of them, we will put it. No issues.
And one more thing is that the live stream links for the sessions after 15th February, they have not been updated. If they could be updated before the end semester exam, it would be very helpful.
Sure. Mahesh, are you listening? Mahesh?
Sir, I will communicate it with them.
Sure, you please communicate them that they need to update that live session.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's all I have to say.
Oh, definitely. Thanks for your suggestions. Yeah. Anything else, guys?
I had like just if possible, like can you just give all the activity questions in one PDF from week 1 to last week, like like in maths also they have provided us with like one PDF which contains all
We
the
have
activity
sent it,
questions.
right?
Yeah, we have shared it with them. Yeah.
Yeah, to 1 to 10 week only, right?
Yeah. No. 1 to 12 week.
12.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just check it. Check that, and we will.
Just ask them to post it in case they haven't.
Sure. Sure. Good. Palmini, everything done from the chat and the other forums?
Yes, sir.
So, guys, if there is nothing else, then we will stop. Or I'm not saying that we are going to stop unless you have. If you don't have anything, then we will stop and work on others.
Sir, can I ask something from mock of quiz 3?
Please go ahead.
So there was pronunciation of HURT, hurt.
Okay.
So it is written H and opposite of E and then T. What does it represent opposite of E, like E?
That's a short R. So we have discussed that, Ayush. That was an IPA symbol. There was somebody who suggested last time that if we use IPA symbol, then can we give those symbols on the top of the exam? We are working on that. We are also thinking about making a video or talking about all the IPA symbol, but in that case it was just a marker of short hurt. And yeah, I think so.
And similarly for ask, there is a and then after a 2 dot, then S and K. What does that 2 dot represent?
That is length of the vowel. 2 dot simply means length of the vowel.
Long vowel.
Right, Kartika?
Yes, sir. Long vowel.
Long vowel. Yeah, that's the length of the vowel.
Okay.
So we will use them consistently, and we are working on that. Thanks.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So good discussions, guys. I think there are 20, 30 people, 25 people, 25 plus people.
Sir, what will be the pronunciation of beast? B-E-A-S-T?
B-E-A-S-T. Beast. No. Long E. Beast.
Long E.
Correct.
So it will be double E in the pronunciation?
No, double I. If we use that, we can put double I or I with a dot colon next to them.
Okay, sir. Sir, so is these things are already taught, or we are going to get some video on it?
I think we have talked about the vowels, the short vowel and long vowel.
No, this sign.
Sign we haven't. We will definitely post one. We are working on the chart. We will post it, or we are also thinking about making a video on this. It's not yet made, but we will.
So for the exam, maybe we can provide the IPA chart that can clear a lot of confusion out.
Sure. Put a chart, IPA chart. Sure. The only reason why I have not shared this IPA chart with you, because that looks little scary. It has a lot of symbols that we don't use. And I don't want you to spend too much time on things that we don't use or things that are too technical in nature. That was the only reason, but we will share that. And you know.
But if we are getting this all in the exam, then we should know also.
We are only giving intuitive stuff for length and all that we have discussed, but that is not an important point of discussion. We will definitely put it. That's no big deal.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
One more question to Kartika ma'am. Like she just told that like study with the 10-20 rules. We can just memorize them. If possible, can we collectively give the 10-20 rules for stress? Like she gave some of the rules. I remember.
It's not 10-20.
That's it. Means there. She
we have discussed some 5 to 7 major rules, and even if you are asking questions on this, it's not going to be on exceptions, because every rule has an exception, and it's 80:20. So 80% of the words qualify that, and 20% is an exception to that rule. So if we ask questions, it's definitely not based on it's definitely not from the exception part. So the major maybe 5-6 rules we will share, which has already been shared in the videos.
Aditya, Aditya, some of those rules are there in that video, one video, which was on stress. What she's trying to say, and what she meant earlier also by memorizing, is since stress is not coming intuitively to us, and it requires an understanding of syllabification first, and then stress comes. So what she was trying to say, for the purpose of exams and few questions in the exam, you can just look at those few rules that are discussed in the video. What you are saying is 10, see, by 1020 means she meant whatever is there in that video. So it's already there. So please look at that video. And
Yeah, it's just a handful of rules.
yes.
1020 is an exaggerated number, but I would say not more than 6 to 8.
Okay, Karthika, wait. So whatever they are, please look at that. And if we want to give you them again, we can only give you the PPT, which must be there as transcript in that video. So just please look at that, and that for the purpose of exam, that should be enough. For the purpose of understanding, I still stick to what I was suggesting in response to one of the questions, that we need to look at several words, let's say 4 or 5 times exercise of 20 words each through some web help of through online help. And if we get an idea of which syllable is stressed in this which word, then it is going to improve our speaking. That's all what I meant when I was saying, and I described to you what Karthika meant when she was saying that. Is that okay, Aditya?
Yeah, thank
Okay. Aditya, did you hear that?
you. Yes, sir, I heard that.
Okay.
It was clear.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So there is a question in the chat box by Raja.
Please. What is that?
He's asking, not only the students but also their instructor has been called to the dean's office. Sir, why has was used while students plus instructors are referred here?
So the instructor becomes the subject of this sentence. This instructor has been called to the dean's office, not only the students. So anything that was before but clause is not taken as end thing for deciding the subject. So whatever comes after but is only instructor, which is singular. Therefore, that takes that becomes that occupies the subject position for the purpose of agreement. Raja, good question.
Yeah. So with paired conjunctions like either or, not only but also, this rule applies. You know, the one that is closer to.
Yes, that's okay. Raja, that's all.
Hello, sir. I just have one doubt here. Sir, in case a word is given and we have to find the stress syllable in it, and that word can be used both as a noun and a verb. So, in that case, what should we do? Because there are two options here, right?
In that case, we will put it in bracket whether it's a verb or a noun.
Okay.
That's how we have given in assignment questions and activity questions.
Okay. I just wanted to confirm that.
Okay. All right. Anything else? No. So Padmini, can we, guys, can we stop them? Do we have your approval? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir. It was a wonderful session, sir. Thank you.
Great.
Yes, sir. Good question. Thank you.
Informative, sir.
After the exam,
Thank you
like
very much,
we will
sir.
have a session or not? Like after the exams.
Yes, Aditya, go ahead.
After the exams, we will have session or not? Like I was just going through the Sudhir Chaudhary books and like I find many doubts like after the exam, but like we will
Okay.
have session
You wanted to have a session about the final exam after the exam, right?
after
You
the
were asking
exam.
about that.
After the exams. Okay, that no
No,
about
he
not
wants
like
to clarify few doubts after the exam. So he's asking, is there a provision that we can have a session of this kind, or how do I get my doubts clarified after the exam?
Can we do that, Karthika? We can do one session. There is no problem, Aditya. We can do one session.
Yeah. Or you can post it in the discussion forum, all your doubts, and we are always there. That is going to remain active.
Yeah, but Kartika, if it
Yeah.
helps to have a session, we will have that. There is no problem. Aditya?
Sure. Sure.
We thanks for bringing this to our attention. Didn't think about it, but we will have one session for sure. No issue. Okay, Aditya?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, then we are winding it up and we're calling it a day. If you have any doubts, post your queries in the forum. You have your mock test on Tuesday, if I'm not wrong, right? All the best for that. And stay safe, take care, all the best for your final exam.
Bye bye, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Yep, sir.
Thank-
I will close. Sir, will we have any session before the exam?
When is the exam, by the way?
On
Yeah,
14th.
next Saturday we will be having.
We will have an exam. We will have a session next Saturday.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Bye bye.